guys, welcome to a new stream on Sunday. Been a while since we've done this, and haven't had anybody else show up yet. I'm looking for Spence, Eric, Donnie, Shu, one of you guys. I have to say, I'm trying to remember how to do some things because right now my video is reversed. This is my right hand. So let me actually, let me fix my camera. It's been like I said, it's been a long time. I looked, it's been 2 months since we did one of these. I know you're here, bud. Hey, GB, Eric. I'm just talking about people who are supposed to be over in this window. I don't know if they're going to show up or not. If they don't, great. If they do, even better. Still going to work on the on my build for the Halloween group build, the monsters. It's just a lot easier on these Sunday streams if you have somebody to talk to, because this is really just unplanned, just doing what you do. Let me see if I can figure it out. It's been, like I said, it's been a long time. And I used to know how to invert the video. Let's see, roles, moderator, move to, no. And it was usually, the problem usually wasn't with the with OBS. It was with DroidCam, which I'm not using right now. Let me see if I can figure out studio mode. Oh, I resized the window. That's good. That did something. Okay, I can focus it only on me. Nobody else is here yet, but what I'm trying to do, if anybody remembers, I know there's a way to reverse the feed so that it's the right direction, but I don't remember how. And it's got to be something in Discord because that's what I'm streaming from. And yes, GB, you do see fake wood and more fake wood. So I'm almost done with this piece. All I've got, I'm gonna just get into it and not worry about it. It'll be backwards, can't help it. I'm almost done with this piece. Still have to scan the decal. It's not even a decal, it's a sticker. I don't want a sticker, I want a decal, because I'm going to light this from the back with a purple LED so that it'll give it a little bit of an eerie effect. Finished the fire. It'll zoom. Come on. Maybe it's not, or if it's going to focus. Yes, exactly. Stickers, boo. So it doesn't look like it's going to focus, and I'm getting some scan lens because I'm getting so close with it. Where is my handle? That usually helps to fix that. Hang on. Oh, and I can't do anything with the camera because it's in Discord. Ah. Thanks, bud. Yeah, figured I'd do that. You know, I painted it yellow, painted it brown, the logs brown, light blocked it with foil tape so that only this part will be lit. And then I'm going to put, not sure yet if I'm going to put a RGB like this behind it, a slow change, or if I'm going to put a fast change behind it, or if I'm going to put it above it. I know I've got to put lights behind it and above it to get the effect I want. The effect I want is I want this fire to actually look like it's flickering. You know, and the RGB is just to give it the reds and greens and blues you'll sometimes see in the fire. I like the way it looked from behind. Took some pictures of it, posted on Discord, and it was actually pretty cool. Let me see if I can get it to show here, and probably not with all these bright lights I've got. Nope. Can I enlarge my... Yeah, since nobody else is here, until somebody else shows up, I can focus it on just mine. If anybody else shows up. If nobody does, I'm okay with that too. But after 2 months, actually 2 months and 1 week, the Sunday stream is back. Should be back for good. And it's not going to be structured like my normal videos are, which they're not that structured anyway, but it's not going to be focused on a single project. It's going to I'm going to sit here and bounce back and forth. I may switch projects in the middle of the stream to make sure. Okay, yeah, that is on. Pull the shade. You're welcome, bud. Echo, turn off patio lights. Echo, turn off bench lights. Now, I can't tell. Let me see. Yeah, it's showing. And it's because it's a slow change. You don't see it there. See there, it's green. It's a slow change LED that I've got going on there. So it's gonna end up with at least one red, thanks bud, one red, one yellow, and then either a slow change or maybe a fast change, just because I want the flicker to be a little bit faster. So there's going to be 3 flickering LEDs behind. And Echo, turn on patio. And then up above, so that it isn't only the fire that's getting lit, I'm going to put between 1 and 3 LEDs in the top of the fireplace. That's one of the things I want to work on today, but before I can get to that, let me pull this and put it to the side. I need to finish the floor, because when I'm working on the fire, that's awesome, Captain. Yeah, sometimes I do the same thing. What's funny is every now and then while I'm doing the Ghostbusters build, I'll say ecto, and it will respond, but it looks like it didn't pick up on it this time. But now, other things I need to finish, need to work on the floor. It's going to be some painting. I need to work decals all the way around, because Spence sent me posted a shot on Discord of the Addams Family. So that's actually what's going to be on the TV. And to help that show, I've actually cut that out. And I have a couple of sheets of styrene for that. Well, and here are the decals. Or not decals, the stickers. I could get light through the stickers. I'm not going to even try. I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to print it onto decal paper. Poor Harmon is not going to be on the TV. But what I've done for the TV is I cut out a screen that I'll put the decal in it. and then very carefully, because it's not exactly right, it's very close, but very carefully put it in there so that I actually have a TV screen that I can get light through. This will cover the back, and then I've checked it before. I put LEDs towards the bottom of it, and those LEDs will light up the screen, as well as, and I didn't clear this yet, I don't know how many people have seen these old console tube TVs, but the console tube TVs like this usually had a screen around the bottom, around the controls, to allow, it was mostly to allow heat, but the effect it did do, if I can get the tape out of here, stay. The effect it did do is, or what you would have on this screen is, because the tubes had lights, or the old tube TVs would actually have light inside from the tubes when they were running. And so you would end up with this mesh area around the bottom that would glow. I know there's tape on there, but it's acting like there's not. I'm going at it from the wrong spot. Bud, anything, questions you have, hit me up, hit Spence up more than me, but you know, if you're looking for just general ideas on how to light things, I've been doing this for about 8 years. You know, Eric, you are one of the people that is listed on this stream. You could join, and then I wouldn't be sitting here talking to myself. I'm gonna have to redo that. Have not put the future over top of the base, or no, there's been no future on anything yet, because and Bud, don't use 24 volts. There's no future on anything because the paint isn't done yet. So I'm just looking. I've got some scuffs that have got to be redone on the floor. So here, let's see if I can get it. Yeah, just hit Eric. Echo, turn off patio. So it won't be a green glow, and it's not picking it up. There's the red glow. You can see what I'm talking about with the effect of the glow inside the TV. That's going to be, I'm probably going to just use a warm white down there. However I do it, I'm going to angle all the LEDs so that they don't hit directly onto the screen or here. I don't want hot spots. They will be coming in probably through the bottom. Echo, turn on patio. Just because. Let me see. 1.8, 3mm, and SMD. Wait, no. These were a different container. Sorry, you hear a bunch of containers rattling around. I have a ton of LEDs. Ultra bright flash, RGB fast change. No, don't mess with the patio. That's my shop, man, and I just cleaned it up because Kenny beat me up. He beat all of us up yesterday about clean your damn shop. I'm like, okay, yes, sir. And by the way, guys, this is Donnie just said he's not going to make the stream, too much going on, which is why we had shut it down for a while, because all of us were really busy. So now, let me put the fire over top of that. Echo, turn off patio. Oh, come on. Now it doesn't want to focus. Whoops, lost the LED. It's telling me I don't have enough light. By the way, guys, this is literally how I model. I sit there and I think about something, I play with it for a few minutes, and then I'm like, I like it, and I press on. Sometimes even plan it out. Usually it's just like this. Needs bifold. Yes, it does. Actually, what the problem is I keep turning the light on and off, and it's not liking it. Let me try something here. Usually, nope, it's not going to focus right now because of the. So let me see if I can first get it to focus on here. See, the problem with the fast change SMDs is they run fast and then they run slow for one cycle. Echo, turn on patio. Oh, my eyes. Hang on. Okay. So let me fix this because it's playing stupid right now. So first we're going to switch over to that one. Back to that one, and it's focusing. I think so too. And it's a little effect that is going to do a whole lot for the model. The Monsters living room is a really simple, pretty cool little model. But adding these few, a couple of things like this will change it up and add so much detail to it. Oh, by the way, anybody who's on Discord knows that let the dogs out. Anybody who's on Discord knows that I recently bought a real airbrush, bought a Posh. Finally, instead of the knockoffs. And this, I'm so impressed because two things, the airbrush and the paint, huge difference on how my painting came out. This was hand painted, this was hand painted, or no, this was airbrushed, but it was airbrushed with the back closed up. This was hand painted. I airbrushed this yesterday using acrylic, and you can see the difference between paint made for an airbrush and paint pushed through an airbrush. So today, my thoughts were, and of course, planning ahead like I do, especially because I was planning on other people being here. I have to figure out what color or what colors I'm going to use on the carpet. I know the stone back here is going to be gray. I probably have something. I keep saying WTG. What does that stand for? I know I should know it, but I don't. Actually, gray mat. And what the next thing you guys are going to hear, if it plays nice, because sometimes it doesn't, way to go. Got it. Thank you. So yeah, my paint shaker right now is on its last legs right now. It's thinking about it, and it will run for a few minutes or for about 30 seconds and then suddenly just kick in the way it's supposed to. Maybe. Like I said, it's on its last legs. Oh yeah, and there it is. That's the way it's supposed to sound. And like I said, it's wearing out because this is just a small bottle. Just in case, if Spence shows up, have to do the obligatory. I've got the HLI SFX 001A going since May. Oh, the paint shaker? It's actually not a paint shaker. It's a, if I can get it over here, it is a nail polish shaker. And it is in rough shape, but I use it every time I do anything with paint. But I don't remember what so HLI FX 001A since May, this one since August. This is the 002, the Klingon Bird of Prey. It's got the disruptors, got the photon torpedo, and I would suggest that everybody go to the HLI community site or the store. But we currently have issues and it is down, unfortunately. But it will be back. According to what Kenny was saying earlier on Discord, his brother Tom has found backups and we should be going soon. Hopefully. If not, we'll rebuild from start and, you know, press on with pride. Just because. Okay. I just wanted to make sure nobody else had popped in. All right. See you in a few, bud. I'll be here. At least for a while. Oh, and I just noticed something on here. The wood pattern continues back here. That's not right. I should not be getting that. Let me do it this way. If I'm going to go close in, we'll use that camera. So this wood pattern extends back to the back of the behind the hearth, but it will actually be underneath here. It fits on like that, and you won't see the wood pattern, so I'm not even going to bother to paint that. You know, don't be me. I'm sitting here looking at the Discord screen, and I just switched over to the my other camera. I need to switch cameras here. Out of practice. This is what I was trying to do, was go like this. You can see it a lot better, the wood pattern back there. Okay, and there it goes again. It's pretty sad for that the 922, which is a year old, is acting up like that, and the 615, which is like 8 years, is working great. Whoa! Don't beat on the paint while it's open. Cool, Kenny. Looks like it's just me today, even though the guys said, yeah, cool. Sounds great. Sunday stream. We'll leave Buck all alone. I don't know if you guys want that. So, like I said, just gonna do a little bit of painting. I could airbrush this, but I'm not gonna block off that little bit of area to airbrush it. Plus the airbrush is across the room. Man, I'll tell you what, this tester stuff yesterday was working like a champ. I'm going to have to do 2 coats on here. And the gray the wood pattern I'm gonna just do gray on back here. There's the problem. I was doing, what was I painting? I airbrushed this. What was I painting yesterday? Oh. I did this yesterday. Let me move that. Did this yesterday. Here. And it came out really nice. Single coat with testers. Just because cool. That pop-up is from my camera, or from switching cameras. So what I'm going to do is let me switch back. I was going to say, damn it. Don't turn off the camera. There. May have to do a little bit of sanding on here. A little bit of paint work here. And the key thing is to get your brush, to go back over it with your brush enough times that you're still going to have some brush marks, but depending on the paint, like your metal paints apparently are really good about clearing out the brush marks. And what I was also doing yesterday was I was using a lot smaller. Talk to you later, Jalen. 300-pound leprechaun, welcome. I think this is the first time you've been on one of my streams. Sunday is going good, except for the Sunday stream, which is usually between 2 and 5 of us, is 1 this time. Of course, to be honest, we haven't done it for a couple of months, so people had things on their schedule, and that's fine. There have been times that I've had to cancel it, which then kills it for everybody because I usually host it, although it was an Eric thing originally. So very carefully. And this was the brush I used yesterday, using a really small brush like this. Well, in my experience, makes it a little easier to avoid brush marks, especially on the front of the hearth here. And sorry, bud, no buck loot yet. Someday, maybe. So I don't know how many people still hand brush. But if you take it slow and steady and not too much paint on the brush, because if you get too much paint on the brush, it runs everywhere. It's going to be interesting when I do the pillow after I do the carpet. Because the pillow is sitting on, will be at that point 3 different colors, 4, because there's, you can't see it, I can, there's a pattern work in the carpet as well. While I'm doing this, yeah, it's only 6:30. I know, GB. I finally do a stream when you're actually not in the middle of the night. Usually my streams start about, I think, midnight for you. Very, very carefully. And I'm not going to say anything about happy little accidents when when I mess up on my paint, I mess up on my paint and I end up going back. It's like my 350 Titanic I did years and years ago. That Titanic, I finally got to the point where I was just like, I'm done. I would paint the handrail brown, and then I'd get some brown on the white parts of the fence. So I'd go back with some white, and I'd get it on the handrail, and back and forth and back and forth. And about the fourth time you do that, you're like, I'm done. I am not going to sit here and go back and forth with this. Almost forgot this end. This honestly used to be the bane of my existence, and it's what a lot of people, when I do things like the Titanic, they look at stuff like this, that I will sit there and I will hand paint, go back and forth and put effort into it, and I've had people say I could never do that. I don't expect anybody who's watching right now would say that, because we all do the same thing. I use a brush quite a bit, and I'm getting more into the airbrush. My biggest problem with the airbrush has been I've had the cheapo airbrushes, and they just don't flow worth a crap. So I sit here and I fight with it, and I go back and forth. And I'm about to employ the latest tool in my arsenal. I've been talking to Eric, and I think Eric, Shu, Kenny, Donnie, and Spence, we've all, I've been talking about getting paint to dry. I have a homemade drying booth, which is great if I'm going to set something and let it set. I actually will put things into it and forget about them for like a week, so they're pretty much dry by then. But I have brand new, just took it out of the box, a hair dryer. Could call it a heat gun, but it's not. It's a hair dryer. I just got to find a empty plug that I can get to. Oh wow! I did not know those were there. So a couple of weeks ago on the live stream for the Pearl, when I ended up accidentally throwing the whole thing of barrels and stuff, well, there's 3 more barrels. Let's see. I use a gravity feed, bud. Way back 20 some years ago, 20, almost 30, I used the old Testors siphon feed. Gravity feed is so much better. Come on. So note to self: pay attention to little pieces of styrene when you start to do things. Start blowing stuff all over the place. And since this is a flat paint, I should be able to. So I realized as I started to talk that I had a fan going in my hand, and it was like, yeah, you guys aren't going to hear a thing. What I was going to say is, since this is a flat paint, I should be able to see as it dries. There are still some wet spots here, here and here. I'm going to try and go ahead and push on. if I have to, I'll go back and sand a little bit on the paint to get the brush marks off. Key thing is, all I'm really looking for is not to put paint onto the brown. No, Keith, I don't know if you guys can see that. I just overshot right there with the tassel on the paint. Yeah, it's just a regular hairdryer. The thing about, and that's the discussions we were having this week about heat guns and hair dryers. A hair dryer is not going to get so hot that you're going to melt the plastic. You know, especially if I put it on low, so it won't melt the plastic. I would prefer not to have to replace parts or scratch build something because it melted. And like I said, just a regular hair dryer. I think my wife, you know, I mentioned it to her. She told me yesterday she ordered a hair dryer. I think it was like $10. Just a standard hair dryer. No, I don't have enough hair. She doesn't have enough hair to own one, so we had to actually buy one. Didn't have an old unused one. And I'm just touching up a little bit where I can see the plastic still through. And actually, I like the way this is going to come out. It's going to be thick enough and uneven enough to look like regular stone or real stone. So I'm not going to go back and sand it unless I've got spots that are, you know, it's obvious that it's paint. I'll have to wait and see how it dries. And I know this thinner looks terrible, but that's only 3 weeks of use. And I do have the soap for the brushes as well. I will do some restorative work on some of them here soon. I'm not just near heat gun paint drying. Donnie, you know, you get away with it, I'm going to use this thing. Okay, noise for a second, guys. So it's not completely dry, but I'm going to leave it there. Let me see if you can see it. Right in here, in this area here, I can see the yellow of the plastic through, but I'm going to let it be. Let me see something. It's amazing how bad that camera is acting. There, you can see it a little bit better there. So this stone right here, I don't mind the divots. I do mind the fact that I can see the paint through it, or see the plastic through it. So I'll do a little bit of touch up on there once that's done, or on there, maybe here. And there you can see where I splotched it. So that means I airbrushed this before with a crappy airbrush that didn't work. So I may go back after I do the blue of the carpet because I messed it up there. And this is where I end up painting the same thing 74 times. But I may go back and cover over the brown. I like the mottled pattern, but I don't like, well, I've got scratches in it and I've got paint in the wrong spot. So let me see. Let me see what I've got that I can use on that carpet. I see something that's catching my eye, but it's for the Titanic. Because what I want is a two-tone blue. Well, I did clean up a good portion of the shop. There are spots that are not that clean yet. I think I like that color. I am one of the people that does still have a few model masks. All of mine are, okay, that's perfect. All of mine are older vintage, as in I bought them from somebody else. I bought them on scale model graveyard. So for the majority of the rug, I'm showing the wrong camera. I'm thinking that color. I like that color. Let's see if the camera will pick it up. Barely. You can see there's a ring here, a ring here. That's I'm going to do the highlights. I don't know yet, to be honest. I don't know. An enamel or acrylic? Because, actually, let me see. Yep, these are enamels. These are older ones. But, like I said, that's going to be the majority of the carpet. And the highlight rings is going to be this lighter. I haven't come up with a enamel, but I'm actually more and more moving to acrylics because they clean up better. I don't have to have chemicals to clean the brushes with. I can use just water, and the rusted can in there is in there on purpose. That's for us to run the brush across. Used to have one in here, but it's just, you know, it helps to scrape the paint off. No, I was actually about to throw it on the paint shaker. You know, I like the enamels. The enamels cover quicker the first time, but the acrylics are non-toxic and there's no chemicals. Okay, it's kind of doing its thing, kind of shaking a little bit. There it goes. And I also understand why I'm not. Hang on. I can understand why some people prefer enamel, because this is acrylic, and you can see not as good a coverage as an enamel. You can see it really good here. But at the same token, that is probably not going to be visible. Okay. Two-step process here. One, will it open? Two, will the paper come off? And of course not. Now three, is the paint even viable? That's the problem with buying used paints, is sometimes they'll sit on your shelf for years and then you'll open them and they won't work. Just want to get this paper thing down inside, and I'm poking through with the knife. Okay, here goes nothing. Hopefully it's gonna work. And hopefully I just thought of something. Custom enamel, cobalt blue. It does not say. I hope this is not a gloss paint. That would be really funny, having a gloss carpet. Let me switch. Ah. Okay, let me switch back. There we go. This might be a little bit darker than I want. No, it doesn't look as faded, but we'll see. And while I'm painting, guys, like I said earlier, I may not catch what you say in the chat because I'm not looking at the chat. I'm not sure if everybody else paints the way I do. I tend to like to paint the edges first with a small brush. And on the carpet, it is raised a little bit. I may try and get down on that raised edge, but it is just so small. You know, if I got some space to work with, yay, put my hand in the drying gray, but didn't get anything on it. So it's not dry completely. It's just tacky. Like I said, you know, it's one of these things. Anybody who watches my channel very much realizes that when I start concentrating, I don't talk as much. I still can talk quite a bit. Sometimes I even engage my brain before I engage my mouth, but you know, that doesn't happen so often. And I like the way this edge is coming. Hang on, let me switch to the other one. This is really irritating. I've got to do something about that stupid camera. It may get switched down to here. So you can see, put the paintbrush down. You can see the bump. And I'm not going to try and get paint down on there, but I think it is looking really, really good. I don't think I have any Tamiya paints yet. I think mostly what I have, here we go again. Most of what I have, like I said, is secondhand. So I've got Model Master, I've got testers, Crafts paint is I bought myself. I've got some Humbrol, and I'm using all of them without regard to whether they're going to screw each other up on this model. You know, God takes care of the foolish. Because I am not really worrying about separating acrylics, enamels, etc. Model Masters are very good. I mean, this is giving some pretty good coverage. The gray here, regular testers. The blue is Model Masters, and it is going on very smoothly. And I'm not having to go back a whole lot and fill back in. Once I get to a wider brush, that may change. Very nice. Sorry, I'm complimenting myself in my own work. I do tend to talk to myself I just wonder if I have a purple for this pillow, because that pillow is going to be purple. To me, it's acrylic. I think some of the older or newer Model Masters, right before they stopped making them, were acrylic too. Getting to what's going to be the most complicated part of this, which is painting around the pillow on the rug, because there are some very tight spots. And the really cool part is, like on a spot where I'm right now, for me to do this is, yeah, to me it's acrylic, bud. Damn, I said the wrong. I don't use enamels. I hate mammals. I said it wrong. Use only acrylic. Use only acrylic. Only one hobby store left in Tucson. They have a good selection of paints, but most are acrylic now. So you're from Tucson, 300-pound leprechaun? At one point, I was stationed in Phoenix. Wanted to be stationed in Tucson at DM, but I was stationed in Phoenix at Luke instead. I think Tucson is not quite as hot as Phoenix. Phoenix is like the surface of the sun. Matter of fact, one time my wife and I were walking out of the grocery store, and it was a nice, bright, sunny day. And so when we walked out, your body just automatically gets to where it tenses up when you walk outside because it's bracing for the heat. Yeah, at least you got a hobby shop near you. But your body gets to where it braces for the heat automatically. We walked out and it was 72 degrees and pleasant and everything, and we both looked at each other and kind of laughed because it was January. And we were ready for it to be hotter than hell. There goes my PG rating. But it was nice. I liked being in Phoenix. My wife right now does not like hot weather, so we're in Illinois and it's too hot for her. Of course, with our new pet, we've gotten an axolotl, and he requires a tank that is 65 degrees or below. So we just spent a chunk of change on a cooler for his tank. He's really a cool little dude. They call him an amphibian because he has little lungs and he can live in air. Oh, come on. Couldn't have been too hot. Yeah, that's what I thought, that it was cooler in Tucson. But this little guy requires his tank to be between 55 and 65, and it's still getting into the 70s. Like right now it's 66 degrees outside. And it's supposed to get up to, I think, 72 today, which heats up the house. So we're trying to figure out how to cool his tank down. And of course, for some reason, our bedroom is one of the warmest places in the house. So next summer, he will be going into, well, he and his 3 friends, because we're getting a total of 4, will go into our movie room, which is always the coldest room in the house, summer or winter. That's because it's right next to the blower for the air conditioner. So it gets cooler, the coolest air. And we have closed the vents in there before. It's a dry heat. Yeah, say that there's no humidity in the middle of August when a dust storm, or shall we call it a thunderstorm, rolls through Phoenix. There was one time, see, guys, like I said, I can sit here and talk forever about everything. One time I was working on an aircraft. Was an F-16 mechanic at the time. And I was up under the nose wheel doing a nose weight on wheels switch, I don't remember if it was nose weight on wheels. It was a switch up under there that I was soldering in. And I had been in Phoenix for about 2 weeks. Had come from Germany. So, had moved from Germany in July to Phoenix, Arizona, when 60 degrees is a hot day for you, and you get to Phoenix and it's getting up to 110. But I digress. So I'm up on the backbone of or not the backbone. I'm up in the wheel well, the nose wheel well of the airplane. And I'm doing this switch with safety wire. And if you've never done safety wire, trust me, it is a pain in the behind. I hear that too. It's like 90s right now in Bismarck. But I'm up under the nose wheel and I'm sitting here, doing the safety wire, almost done. Got about 5 to 10 minutes left to go. When somebody, the expediter, don't remember his name, comes up and kicks my boot and says, "Come on, let's go." I'm like, "I'm almost done. Just let me finish this up. I'll be done in about 5 minutes." He said, "No, you don't understand. It is time to go. Pack up your stuff. Let's get inside the building." I come out from under the wheel well, and the winds in Phoenix usually run from east to west. I come out from under the wheel well, and the wheel well was facing due west. So when I come out, ready to argue, going, "Listen, starting to go, listen, I've only got 5 minutes to go. And as I come down far enough to see down the ramp, I see this 10,000-foot wall of dirt coming at me. And instead of going, "I've only got 5 minutes to go," I saw that, and I'm like, "You got it. Understood." And that was one of the worst windstorms they had in like a decade. And it knocked out power for some people. Well, it knocked out power in a lot of Phoenix, because they still, at the time, I don't know if they still do, they had above ground power lines. And when when the power went out, for us, it went out for 2 days, or for 2 weeks actually. Because right after that, fortunately, we got our power back, and it didn't go out. Right after that, there was that back in 96 when there was the 5-state power outage, because I don't remember what happened, but something serious happened to the grid and it took down 5 states. It was pretty amazing. We were lucky. We got our power back and it stayed on, but there were people in Phoenix that were out of power with no electricity for almost 4 weeks. There were a lot of people for at least 3, and I think the longest that anybody was out of power was 27 days. There were people who didn't lose the power during that windstorm that did lose power during the 5-state outage. It was just insane the way things worked out. Let's see. Let me flip over real quick, because I see people are talking. Omar's talking about his printers going nuts yesterday. Let's see that, and some comments on 3D. Was just curious. Now I gotta move that. So yeah, actually, just out of curiosity, I'm gonna make sure I'm not just talking to myself, because don't even have that page up. Holy crap! I've had up to 10 people listening to me ramble. I'm pretty impressed. I appreciate you guys hanging on. So back to this. So is there anything anybody wants to talk about? Post in the chat and we can talk about. And of course I forgot to put my chat window back on top. Let's talk about North Dakota, Eric, and the fact that you're probably really close to getting snow already. I know in Wisconsin they're getting there. And here it's the middle of November and sunny and dry. Although it was rainy 2 days ago. If I hadn't thrown out my back, I would have been doing the yard today. So I'll be doing that either next week or maybe, since I'm now working from home, 3 out of 5 days. Maybe I'll do that during the week when I get off at 3:30. Already got snow in the western half. Yeah. That's up towards the mountains, isn't it, Eric? I think it's all your fault, Eric. I think you're just sending out a back-destroying virus of some sort. Almost got this brush clean. And I need to use the brush soap I have on these soon. What I don't like, especially with darker colors, is now I have permanent blue. If it's not going to focus. I've got some permanent blue. I've got some permanent black. Fortunately, I buy the cheapo brushes, like 20 bucks, 25 bucks for 14 brushes. Maybe someday I will buy more expensive, like Kenny wants to get the really expensive H&K, I think it is, airbrush. I will not. I'm a cheap bastard. Yes, I say that about myself. Cool. That is very awesome. I'm looking forward to it. What I have to do, Kenny, is I will actually go back into my archives to help get it set up and get some more history to it. I was looking through my photos. I've got some pretty good pictures of builds I did like 8 years ago. Might post some stuff of that, some of those on there. Oh, wow. Yeah, take care of yourself, Eric. No good when, trying to do this stuff when you're sick. It's just like, I work from home, but if I get sick, I'm just not going to log on even. There's no sense in it. Because I might, never know, I might be able to work decently, but I might also end up, doing serious mistakes and making damage to programs and stuff because I'm not fully on. Okay, what's your question there, bud? How did I learn to just rattle my mouth for hours at a time? I always think it's funny when people start posting on Discord while I'm streaming. I'm like, what am I missing? Same here, Eric. So in a lot of your clamps that come with your desk clamps, there may or may not be screws for the mount, but a lot of them have holes in the mount, and so the way you mount it to the wall is you just put in some mollies, drill small enough holes that it's going to hold. And even better is if you can hit a beam, but just put screws into the wall to hold the mount. Let me take a look real quick. I might even have one just hanging out. No. No, all mine are clamp on right now. Let's see. Wow, caught up in the. Oh, this isn't the type that you would normally get with a desk lamp. This is actually one that was until a second ago had a mount for a camera on it. So a lot of times this piece will be plastic and it'll have a flat spot down here on the bottom where you can, it'll be plastic and you'll have a spot thing that pokes inside here and a flat spot on the bottom with holes. If it has holes, then all you do is you line up you drill your holes, you clamp it to the wall like that. The one thing you got to remember is a lot of them don't have a set screw like this. This set screw lets me hang this thing upside down. If it doesn't have a set screw, you might have the lamp, when you're moving it, pop out. Excuse me. This is going to require a second coat of paint. Paintbrush got dry. That's one thing too, guys, if you when you're painting, I'm sure we all know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you're painting, if your paint starts drying on your brush, clean it and start over. I get that really bad with the acrylic paint. Enamel, not so much, because there's chemicals and all that. And it's got an off gas, and you got to use the enamels in a well ventilated area. Blah da 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 da. Now, we all know that, or should, except maybe Eric. Because no. If you have one that doesn't, if it's just the clamp on like that, for hanging it on the wall, I don't know. What you could do is, if you're going to put shelves up, because I know you're going to put pegboard up. If you're going to put shelves up, you can hang it from the shelves, because literally my cameras all hang from a clamp that is clamped to the shelves. If you look on Discord earlier today, after I cleaned up my workspace, I actually posted a picture that you should be able to see the camera, this camera hanging down. I've got another camera right here on the tripod. And as I'm looking at this, as I'm looking at the details, wait, what did Eric say? Oh. Nah, bud, we love him that way. We would love to have Eric on the stream. Eric does some pretty good building. I am in awe of a lot of his stuff because he does what, you know, what those of us that can afford it, we'll go out and buy stuff to make things work. Eric goes, so I need some landscape, and I've done wall work lately. Wall mud, that can be dirt. I would never think of that. And he actually makes it come out looking really good. Like the, what was it? The last flight of the USS Rust Bucket. Did you ever finish that one, Eric? I don't remember. I think you called it done, but it was done, but I'll be back. Right now, I'm just trying to cover up some pale spots in the blue. Or at least make them not look like brush marks, because this is supposed to be an older carpet. It will have some splotchiness to it. But I want it to match the pattern of the carpet. So instead of a straight line, like right here, it would be a round where the fibers would have worn. All right. This is really close to where I can actually attach it to the wall. And I don't want the floor to be this color or this color. I am going to end up repainting it. How about yellow? No. That's right. That's a craft paint that's on the other side of the room. Grandpa needs paint. He's going to be airbrushed. That's what I can do. I can work on Herman. Herman has pants, but he has no arms. And actually, nope, not that. Sorry about that, guys. My chair thumps when I move. I can do a little bit of work on Lily's chair. Or should we say coffin. And Herman's chair. Oh. I was looking at this right here and I'm like, what is that? And I just realized that it's the top of the can for my paint thinner. These straps are going to have to be put on with CA because they're really interesting in how they plug in to the chair. That's right. I thought it was odd that the chair has openings on the sides. But the openings are partially because that's where the belts go. Or the belt. All right, talk to you later, bud. Where did I just put down my sanding stick? That's my problem when things are cleaned up. I can't find stuff. I literally, no, I know that I just had it. I got other ones, but I'm like, let me move these over here where I can find them. I literally set it down and it disappeared. Just to make sure I didn't inadvertently drop it in here. It's not there. It will jump out at me at some point. That is so weird. So I'll use this one for right now. And the one that I'm looking for actually was the first one that I've ever used from Squadron. And one of our dogs got a hold of it and I had to go outside and take it away from him. He was chewing on it, on one end of it. But I've been using it since then and it's a really good sanding stick. I'm really impressed. And I run the gamut. I have multitudes of sanding sticks. I have sanding sticks, I have emery boards, and I'm out of camera and you guys are listening to me rattle and just looking at the table. Oh. So which one was it? I think it was Model Master. Yep. Use a Model Master on here. My drying rack is right there. So I'm going to grab a hold of this on the nub. Should hold. You know what? Just because it's a silly little detail that nobody will ever notice, but I'll know it's there. I'm going to poke the holes from the belt all the way through. Dull bit. Try this again. Try it this way. So if you look, hang on. Come on, focus. So you got the one on the end there that I just drilled and the two that are not drilled. I think the one on the end looks better. Eric, how you doing? I figured you were still there. I wasn't sure. You get very quiet during streams. Sometimes I wonder if you've gone to sleep. I'm figuring, Eric, I'm going to run this until probably about 2, which is what we normally would do. Tonight we're going out to dinner. Basically a farewell for my son who's moving to Alaska on Wednesday. He's going to be an air traffic controller. Right now, he's slated to go to a little village called Talkeetna. He's trying to get to Juneau, but he's going to go to his class is in Kenai. So he's going to be doing a quick world tour of Alaska. Kenai is in the damn it. I knew there was paint on there too. Kenai is in the central area of the state on Cook. It's on the jut that comes off to help form Cook Inlet. Talkeetna is out in the boonies. It's up towards the Denali National Park. And Juneau is down on the Panhandle. So he will be, if he goes to all of them, he will be running over quite a bit of that state. And my wife and I will probably make a trip up there sometime, just because she's never been and I haven't been since it was 2001 when Dad had a heart attack. Okay, so that one's good. That one's good. I'll make the buckle black. And I don't know if you can read that. It's backwards. Now it's upside down. But it says leather. Oh, wow. Suddenly it focuses. Yes and no. I have some minis. I have the minis for the Black Pearl. But next Sunday, we'll probably be finishing up this thing because, it's that time. Breakup can be rough. And it depends on where you're at in Alaska, because Fairbanks was really cold. I mean, when I went to college, there was one day when it went from 60 below to 30 below. And us college students, so you would think we were slightly intelligent, we're all out in t-shirts and shorts and everything because it was so warm. Until you were out for like 4 or 5 minutes, and then you realize, wait, it's still 30 below. It's still flipping cold. But yeah, the way I like to put it is my parents decided to move to Alaska when I was 10. And did not consult me. So I grew up for several years in Alaska. And it's not a bad place. I would not have minded going back. But I have to have a job and that would support it. And then after I retire, I have to have the retirement to support it. And I'm not sure that my current retirement would support me living in Alaska. I know some things are more expensive, some things are just the same. But where I'm at, the cost of living is low enough until Illinois government does something stupid. But it's low enough right now that I will have a really nice retirement. I'm just hoping they don't do something stupid and screw it up make it to where I have to continue working past 52 or 62, sorry. Like I said, this is going to get, when I put it on the chair, it's going to get CA to put it on. It's one of the things I've learned recently, in the last couple of years. I use multitudes of glues, different types of glues now, depending on what I'm doing. It's minus 60 in the field exercise. Where at in Alaska, if you don't mind me asking? Sounds like it was interior up by Wainwright. And I understand how rough that can be, because when I was in college up there at UAF, I was in, I don't have one. I was in ROTC, and we did the overnights and had the bunny boots and the whole 9 yards. And my bunny boots didn't work worth a crap because my feet sweat. And so I almost got frostbite through the big flipping white bunny boots. But it was a good time, other than my frozen feet. They had the shelter pre-built for us because we were students, otherwise we'd have had to build one. It was basically a little log lean-to type thing. Yep, that's where we did ours for ROTC. Matter of fact, Eielson, which is close to Wainwright, is where I enlisted in the Air Force. So, Leprechaun, are you currently in the, I'm guessing the Army? Fairbanks is another fun place because Fairbanks, things are either really great or really bad. It's a boom and bust town. They're either everybody up there is doing well or everybody up there is life is sucking for. That should be good. There's this one I didn't get the retired now. Same here, 24 years, and thank you for your service, sir. So this one I didn't get the, okay, is that just reflection? Didn't get the tab on this one painted like I did the other one, but that's okay, it'll be inside the chair. This is the same color that I used on Herman's boots. Speaking of Herman's boots, I've got his pants. Need to do his socks. And thank you for your service, Eric, because you took the biggest you made the most sacrifice of anybody that I know on HLI, having that truck dropped on you. Or I don't know, I don't remember if it was a truck or a half track or what it was. I know that you got pretty screwed up. Cool. I did 24 straight Air Force. I know some people do, but I am not going to worry about filling the seams on the arms. HMMT Wrecker. In other words, something big, heavy, and you weren't really happy to have it sitting on top of you. I know you guys can't hear it, but I hear I hear it going over, or you might hear it now. I hear choppers. Yep. I didn't have anybody to follow in their footsteps in the Air Force or the military at all. Dad tried to join the Army in Vietnam, but he has scoliosis and flat feet. And this is back when those things would exclude you from military service. So hopefully I'm not about to screw up myself here because I've still got to put the chair. I'm out of camera again. Hang on. Oh yeah, Here, Eric, this is for you. I'm wearing Goofy again. Eric has for those of you that don't know, Eric has a love-hate relationship with Goofy. He loves to hate Goofy. So, oops, about to put the wrong one over here. Eric, I still have that post from Discord where you said that you love Goofy. What you don't like is the fact that I have a Goofy in the shop that is basically a Christmas Goofy that is hanging Christmas lights, and he's all tangled up in them. Hence, in a few videos, we had the Goofy cam. And of course, there's this Goofy. That Goofy is my shipping consultant whenever I sell a model to Eric. No, it counts, Eric. Don't matter what you say. I have it. So it counts. Sorry, I didn't do what I normally do. You should still be able to see them if it will focus. There are pins here, 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 and here. This is the cradle that holds the chair. And I'm thinking that between now and in my next live stream, I'm going to switch this camera and this camera because this one is a lot better. I think part of the reason we end up with so many model builders that were in the military is that a lot of us want to build things that we worked with. Before I put that on there, let me see if I can get these pour marks. Nah, that's not gonna matter. I think a lot of us like to build things that we dealt with in the military, and for me, it's relaxing. We learned how to rush off and be ready to do something, and then sit there and wait for something to happen. And we also are very detail oriented because of our military service. In a lot of professions, if you screw up, then, so be it. Not a big deal. You'll still have a job tomorrow, whole 9 yards. A lot of us in the military, me being an aircraft mechanic, Eric being an engineer, Kenny was airborne, I believe. A lot of us, our jobs in the military may not seem to the civilian sector to have been that important or that big a deal. But if we screw up, somebody could die. As an aircraft mechanic, if I didn't fix a jet right and a pilot took it up and something went wrong, it could have been my fault that he died. And I just never wanted to have that type of responsibility. Never wanted to be responsible for somebody's death like that. I know a lot of people that I worked with didn't care. One of the biggest things that bugged me was the people who were always trying to cut back early to get out of work. We're done, let's go home. Don't care if we got the jet fixed right. Yep. So where do I have flat black? I have so many colors, and flat black is so hard to come across. Most of my blacks are jet black or gloss. Then you have one, I just picked up one that looks like black, it's flat gunmetal. Not sure that they ever used gunmetal for socks. Gloss black. Gloss black. Black, doesn't say whether it's flat or not. That's something funny too with the testers paints that I have. When I finally went through and sorted them out, flat black. When I finally went through and sorted them out, it turns out, you know, I have so many paints. I've got like 100 of the little tester square bottles. And when they were all mixed together, looked like so many different colors. When they're all sorted out, I have like 8 basic colors and then one bottle, hang on. So I was saying I've got like 8 basic colors, you know, red, yellow, orange, green, not very much blue. And then one bottle here and there of different colors, of actual different colors. Like I've got one bottle of metallic purple. And that was one that I bought. You know, not bought from somebody, but I bought outright. Because I wanted... Actually, I think my wife bought it. She saw it, she thought it was really cool, so she bought it. I'm watching you guys chat because having been Air Force, some of what you're saying is Greek to me. I hope you guys won't hold that against me, just like we don't hold against Eric the fact that he was Army. I'm trying to get just plain black socks, but it looks like the brown might show through a little bit. Not going to be too bad because it's a detail you may or may not see on the finished model. This bottle is a very, very rough shape. I just realized as it flipped over, there's a reason why the soles are not done. I was doing them in black as well. So the top there, not a very good paint job on the top. Come on, focus. So it's not a very good, but it's also not going to be very visible. I don't know. Heavy and light, military folks are family no matter what service. Amen. Absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, it was funny because I went at one point we did what is known as a COT, consecutive overseas tour in Germany. And we opted to go and visit family. Big mistake, never do it again. Never did it again. But it was funny because we did not get along with my sister, who I had gotten along really well with my sister prior to this. We did not get along with her or her husband. There was a lot of strife. And so we went from Idaho, where they lived, over to Oregon. Andrea was 7 months pregnant with, and we drove, took a 250-mile road trip. That's how bad it was at my sister's house. How bad we didn't get along. And not that they were bad people, they just didn't understand military people, and they didn't realize that, yes, I was 10 years older and was no longer 18 and was married, had kids, blah, 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 blah. But we drove over there, and we stayed with my dad's brother, my Uncle Mike, who I had never met. But Mike was retired Navy. So Mike and Lorraine and Andrea and I all understood each other because we were all military. And so it wasn't one of these things if they had any kind of expectations of this or that or the other thing. They just knew that we would be there, we would be polite and everything else. They didn't, expect things. They didn't have preconceived notions. To this day, I think it's funny that, we went to the commissary to help out, brought home $150 in food, and they didn't touch it. They were insulted, I think, because apparently we thought, or they decided we thought, that their stuff wasn't good enough for us. And it's funny because my wife and I still make jokes about the fact that somehow they managed to make for every meal leftovers, chicken nuggets, and rice. And we never could figure out where they got the leftovers from because they didn't do any fresh meals while we were there. You have to do a fresh meal to get leftovers, I thought. Oh, sorry guys. I've got that blocking right where that menu is up there, right where I'm working at. So I'm just doing the sole of the boots. It looks, I like the way it's coming out. Looks a little bit like with the leather shining through that it's just the boots are dirty. Harmon Munster in his size 24 boot. Something like that. So I think the boot looks pretty good. That would be Apollo in the background making all that noise. He probably sees the air. He's a noisy dog, but he's a pretty good dog. He does have his foibles, but he's overall really good dog. He is a Samoyed, which is not sure what language, but it means ball of fluff that leaks everywhere. Because that dog can walk by something that has just been cleaned and he walks by it about 8 feet away and it is covered with hair. And we're not talking just regular dog hair. This dog's hair, some of his hair is like this long. It's because of the way his undercoat is. I haven't had time. He's actually my grandson's dog. And I haven't had enough time recently to really take care of brushing him out. And he doesn't Matter of fact, let me show you. He does not use, we don't use a regular brush on him. He has a special brush because of his undercoat. Where did I put that? Cleaned up the shop. Now I can't find anything. Told you. I blame it on Kenny. Found it. So this looks like a garden implement of some sort that you would, I don't know, strain through the garden, but it's not. This is that dog's brush. It takes something like that to actually get any of his shedding hair done. It's amazing. Okay, let me get this boot back. And I'm not, the sock area, I need to redo it. Did not come out near as good as the other one. That's because the brush is getting dry. And I talk right now, but I'm actually holding the stick. There, that's better. I was holding this stick in my mouth while I was cleaning the brush, while I wiped it with the paper towel. A little bit better. Okay, now to do the sole and the side of the sole. I need to pick up more of these little detailed brushes because they wear out pretty quickly. But actually, this is my favorite kind of painting, is really small details like this. This one looks like it's probably going to need a second coat. The other one looks pretty okay. And I just realized they're both going to need a new coat because I had thought about it. I had planned it. That's why I didn't put away, when I cleaned up the shop, I didn't put away all the paints. And I went and found flat black, which is going to be a good base coat. If it'll show, that rubber is what the soles of his boots should be. So I'll be going back over the black with the rubber. Used it on my F16 and it looks really good on those tires. It comes out looking almost black. And yes, I'm a glutton for punishment because if I'm doing that, it means I've got to go back over this one more time and shit. I've got to go over the boot one more time because I just screwed it up. But this flat black, once it dries, will make a good base coat for the rubber. Give it something to stick on really well. So there's one side of the boot. That side's not bad. And that side right there, right where the heel meets the instep, that's terrible. I need to repaint the brown there. Or not actually brown, it's leather. Cool. Looking forward to it. So I'm sure everybody has something like this. This is my paper towel for cleaning my brushes. Let me see. Oh, yes. Not the rats. The rats are going to probably be painted gray. I should close this. I actually knocked one of these things over a while back. Lost about half a bottle. But my wife walked in right after that, and I was like grumbling, and she's like, "What happened?" I said, "I spilled the paint." She said, and I said, "You mind buying a couple of bottles?" Threw them in the Amazon cart, and I have 2 spares now. So I'm not sure if everybody realizes that Lily's chair is a casket. And I've got it taped off because I'm going to do some sort of a purple on the outside. Might actually use some of the cosmic colors I picked up. And then, you know, I'm going to airbrush the outside. I'm going to hand brush. This will be a purple inside here. Going to hand brush inside. Might even be that. But since it's a coffin, it has rails to carry it and one at the top. And those obviously should be brass, but I'm not going to go find brass, and I'm not going to use the copper. I'm going to use gold. I like my metallic gold. I built a C-3PO one time, and it wasn't this. I used a gold leaf paint, and it was just came out so cool. By the way, Kenny, it's all your fault. I now have these sitting next to me, and the drying rack right over here. It's like, it's almost functional. I blame it on you, Kenny. Yelling at me to get my shop cleaned up. But there's still mess in it. I do need to take care of the rest of it. So that looks like it should go that way. The one thing I don't like about these is, where did I put it? There it is. There's locator marks here, not pins. I like locator pins, but it shouldn't be too bad once they're painted. Slide this up. It'll match up there and should hold, should fit pretty well. I know you will. That's okay. Oh man, you don't have the Ida Blue anymore because it was a carryover from last year because nobody else did a ship last year. When you figure out what you're doing for Monty, Chippy Awards, what have you, I will resend you, if I still have it. I should still have the write-up. I will resend you the stuff for the Ida Blue because I still love that ship. I really, really wish there were more modern cruise ships for modern cruise ship models. Most of them are older, which I like those too, but they're all black, red, and white. The Queen Mary 2 does have some color, but not like the Ida did. By the way, Kenny, I don't think you use Evil Bay, but if you do, and I know you showed interest, you said you were interested, and I don't know what your finances are like right now. Not the blue, but there's 2 models. There's the Ida Blue and three of the line, and the Ida Luna and 2 others. The Ida Luna, the other one, is currently on eBay for like $70. And I keep looking at it and I'm like, oh, I'm so tempted. But I have other models on. I've got other ships recently, and I'm eyeballing the Herman something. I forget what it is, but it's a German rescue boat, 1/72nd scale. Comes with photo etch and brass pieces, and I just keep eyeballing that thing, and I found it, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I just spent a whole slew of cash on the next 4 months of the Ghostbuster car. But I found it for about $100 shipped. It's just that it's coming from England, which means if I get it, it may take 6 months to get here. I'm still waiting for, and it's been almost a month, my 1/16th scale VW bus. And I didn't think it was coming from England, but I actually now think it is. And of course, there's no tracking. So what I should do is start having GB buy the stuff and sending it to me. Might move faster. Let's see. Thing about gold paint like this, I guarantee after it dries, I'll look at it and I'll find bare plastic in a couple of spots here and there. But your metallics, especially your enamels, don't show a whole lot of brush marks. Oh, damn it. Didn't mean to do that. My bench is actually pretty clean. So not bad. I'll have to work something out with you, GB. But not right now because, like I said, just bought a whole bunch of ecto parts. And so that's a chunk of change. It's the problem with Revell having mostly closed out in the States. Have to do everything through Revell Germany, and this is the ship or boat that I'm talking about. It's a search and rescue boat. Is a repop, and Revell is doing a lot of repops right now with platinum editions. I could probably get the non-platinum edition, the regular one, through eBay around $70-$80 shipped. But if I'm going to spend $70-$80, why not spend the extra $20 to $30 to get the PE? I'm actually building my Ecto 1 as a straight build.
Here's something I found on the web. According to Deutscherself.com,
Shut up, Echo.
A straight staircase can be defined as...
Shut up. Every now and then it'll pick up. A lot of times it won't. But anybody who has one, have you ever tried asking it if the NSA is listening? I do that every now and then, and it's so funny. I've never heard a speaker, except for that question, sound like it was insulted. And I'm leaving you guys in suspense of what it does, those of you who don't have one. So hang on just a second. Let me look this over. Echo, is the NSA listening?
Amazon takes privacy seriously. For more information and to view Amazon's privacy notice, visit the help section of your Alexa app.
I just made my speaker get butthurt. Okay, that's drying. It's another thing. Metallics sometimes are a pain to get out of a brush. But whatever, I bought this organic paint thinner. You know, it's biodegradable, whole 9 yards, from Home Depot. It actually cleans really, really well. So let me, since I'm the only one, normally I wouldn't do this on a Sunday stream. I didn't realize I left it on that camera. So, like I said, normally I wouldn't do this on a Sunday stream because normally there's 3 or 4 of us. Today I'm the only one. So I'm going to say, hey, it's me. I'm going to call it good for now. Like I said, we're going out in a little bit, and it's all based on when I get done. My wife has got a couple of things she wants me to do before we go. So hope you enjoyed it. I did. I got a lot of work done. Still got some very serious parts to do. When I started today, I was not sure if I was going to solder. Oh, sorry, Eric. Here, let me help you out. Is that better? But when I started today, before I started, I was thinking maybe solder and all, some of that. But since I ended up alone, soldering is not, to me, a good thing for doing while you're on a stream that you didn't plan on soldering. Whoops, I got gold paint on my TV box. It is good, if that's what you were planning, but I hadn't planned to solder, so I didn't solder. I got a lot of work to do on the lights still, but it's coming together. Next week on Sunday, I will do more on this. I don't even think I've announced oh wait, yeah, I did. We're still doing the Enterprise D on Tuesday. Still got to finish it up. Okay, so I'm going to call this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate it. You stopping by. Like, subscribe. And I would say stop by Hobby Link International, but I can't. When it is back up, my next stream, I will say that, I will announce if it's a different location, if it's a different web link, and I'll update it on my description. It's still in the description. Hopefully it will be the same, but if it's not, we'll adjust. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great Sunday, and I will see you on Tuesday.